Shalom, this is a new Yeshua Mizrahi Hebrew on Island 2. Today's video is called Christian, the God of the Old Testament is good and not bad or cruel. See, you demonic Christians always say the God of the Old Testament is bad, mean, unforgiving, and cruel. But as myself and my subscribers already know, that Christians are totally void of biblical knowledge. They are all people on the new path, the new way, the Jesus way, the got milk, got Jesus way, that fake New Testament. When you let the Old Testament speak for itself, you clearly see that the Elohim of the Old Testament is an Elohim of mercy. He's an Elohim of forgiveness, care. That's what he is. Of course, he also, just like you have many other sides, he has a side of wrath and anger and etc. But what you guys try to hold to is, oh, he's just cruel, angry, mad, murderous. He just try to label the Old Testament and the Most High as bad and cruel just to work on the emotions of the people. And they know most of the people do not read, do not comprehend, are not law keepers, so they won't understand the Bible. They don't understand the Bible. Because they know that the people will then shun, disregard, and don't search out the scriptures, the context. They won't. They'll just have in their mind, oh, he's the cruel God of the Old Testament. The bad, mean God of the Old Testament. Let's just stay in the New Testament. And they've been successful with that plan. It's worked perfectly. The heathen Christians also like to say the God of the Old Testament is so cruel, demanding the slaughter of millions upon millions of innocent animals just to see their blood spill. From the mouth of the major prophets and minor prophets, they will tell you how the Most High was and is, and what his true expectation for us is. And it wasn't animal blood. That's a lie that you guys perpetrated. That's the narrative that you want to put out in the world, that you have put out in the world, to keep people from actually reading and studying the old path, the Old Testament, the law. We wouldn't even need the prophets. The prophets wouldn't even have came on the scene if Israel just kept the law. Because when you read Numbers 14, it says, Caleb, my servant, he had a different spirit. He followed me fully. When you read Joshua, and these guys were the only guys that made it in the promised land with their families. Everybody else got killed. Over 600,000. So when you read Joshua 1:1-6, I'm paraphrasing, it says, be strong and of good courage. Meditate on the Most High's law day and night. Don't turn to the left or the right. Then you will have prosper and have good success. Prophets were there to call you back, to make you bethink yourself before it's too late. That's what was going on. Call me to Jeremiah 7:21. Jeremiah 7:21. We're going to read up to like verse 25. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, put your burnt offerings unto the sacrifices and eat flesh. Verse 22 of Jeremiah 7. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifice. But this thing commanded I them. See? Read Jeremiah 7, start in verse 21. Read the whole Jeremiah 7 for you crazy Christians, devil Christians. Oh, he's taking that out of context. No, I'm not. You're just a devil. Verse 25 of Jeremiah chapter 7. But this thing command I them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your Elohim, and ye shall be my people, and walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you. See, so he's telling you, obey his voice. In Jeremiah 7. It didn't say anything about sacrifice. Call me to Hosea 6:6. Hosea 6:6. Minor prophet. For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. These people were living back there. These people had a closer walk. We live in an extreme Luciferian society. Everything has been turned upside down. Left is now right, right is now left, down is now up, up is now down. Sweeter is sweeter is bitter, and bitter is sweet. Everything is turned upside down. They were closer to knowing the things of the Most High back then. Hosea 6:6, for I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of Elohim more than burnt offerings. Come me to Micah chapter 6, verse 6 to 8. And what I'm giving you is what the when you have crazy Christians saying, oh, well, you guys, you Old Testament believers, well, when did you do your last sacrifice? He ain't calling for that. That's the mercy, that's the good side of the Most High that you don't know because you don't read the scriptures, and you don't know because you don't know the scriptures. You don't read and you don't know, you don't comprehend. And you don't comprehend because you confounded. Psalm 97, confounded are all they that serve graven images and idols and gods, paraphrasing. That's what you guys, that's why you're confounded. You don't know what I'm talking about. Can't grasp it. Micah 6, verse 6 to 8, another minor prophet. Wherewith shall I come before the Most High and bow myself before the Most High God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves of a year old? Will the Most High be pleased with 1,000 of rams, or with 10,000 of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgressions, the first fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? Verse 8 of Micah chapter 6, minor prophet. He knows more than you. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Most High require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy Elohim. The minor prophet didn't say anything about sacrificing rams and goats and sheep, oils and incense. He didn't say anything about that. He said to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly. That's right. We don't need a sacrifice, because the Most High is an Elohim of mercy. That's the new covenant that you guys don't realize. It's the new covenant. Coming to Proverbs 28:13. Proverbs 28:13. He that covereth his sin shall not prosper, but whoso confesses and forsakes them shall have mercy. It's all about mercy. The Most High is an Elohim of mercy. He's not that bad God that you demonic Christians say just to keep the masses of them stupid Christians out of really truly reading the Old Testament to find out that the Most High is an Elohim of mercy. Oh, he has his bad side, but for his people, he has mercy in store if you listen to him, if you seek him. The Most High's main thing he desires is to give his chosen people, not the heathens, all the time that they need to acquire his mercy. Not cruelty, not hostility. He was, is, and always will be the Elohim of mercy that these demonic Christians, Catholics, and all the type of heathens want to hide from you, so that you can continually to think and perceive the Most High as a cruel, gruesome God, so that you will never find out his aspect of mercy, and to keep his law and to live eternally with him in the new kingdom, under him in the new kingdom. The heathen, Gentile, Christian, pagans are the devil that the Bible speaks of. And the devil just means deceiver. They deceived you into thinking that the Most High was bad, when actually he's only good to the chosen people. So the Most High doesn't demand blood as you demon heathens think. You devils of Christianity, along with all the other heathens, you don't know the Bible. This is a new Yes from Israel at Hebrew on the Island 2. Hopefully this was edifying. Until next time. My Elohim of the Old Testament is a good Elohim, is a loving Elohim. He's the unconquerable one.